I'm Bharat Sriram and I'm going to be talking about firewalls today. I'm going to be outlining the introduction of firewalls, what firewall environments are. I'm going to talk about DMZ environments. I'm going to talk about a quick introduction to VPN, intranets, as well as extranets. And then we'll be coming down to the different types of firewalls, and I'll be giving a brief explanation about them too. So, here goes. Thank you. As I mentioned, this would be the outline of the video today. Yeah. So coming to the introduction of firewalls, if we look at what exactly firewalls are, what exactly they do. Firewalls control the flow of network traffic. That is their most primary objective. Secondly, firewalls have applicability in networks where there is no internet connectivity. Third, firewalls operate on number of layers. They can also act as VPN getaways. Active content filtering technologies are what the current day firewalls are also expected to do. Now, coming to the firewall environments, firewalls can be implemented in various different scenarios, but we can broadly categorize them as being as four uh, as a few different types of environments where a firewall can be implemented. First one would be the simple environment. It's just a packet filter firewall, which is the most basic, and it can also be implemented. Firewalls can be implemented in complex environments too, where there are multiple firewalls and proxies all implemented in conjunction with each other, all working simultaneously, with each having a different purpose together. Now, let me give a quick brief about DMZ environment. So they can be created out of a network connecting two firewalls. So that's what we call a DMZ environment, and a boundary router filter packets protecting the server. So they are also considered as DMZ environment, and it's the first firewall provide access control and protection from server if they are hacked, which is their main function. So here we can look at a quick depiction of what a DMZ environment is. As we can see, there are different firewalls implemented over here, and they together comprise the DMZ environment. Let me give a quick introduction about VPN now. If we look at what VPN is used for, it's mainly to provide secure network links across networks. It's constructed on top of existing network media and internet protocols. On protocol level, IPsec is the first choice. Other protocols are PPTP, L2, TP, and there are a few other ones as well. So this is an image depicting the VPN. If we take a look at this, we can see that there are multiple networks over here, and based on uh, the non-internet protocols, there are new protocols that are set so that such a connection is established. Over here, we see an external web server, email server, we see different networks, we see uh, the traffic is unencrypted, and then through the firewall or the VPN server, and through the ISP internet gateway, we are able to set certain protocols for connection for different networks. Let me now give a quick brief about intranets. An intranet is a network that employs the same types of services, applications, and protocols present in an internet implementation without involving external connectivity. Intranets are typically implemented behind firewall environments. It is hard to see them being implemented where it is not a firewall or DMZ environment. They work in conjunction with VPN and firewalls and so on. Now, this is the image depicting intranet. We can see different networks at the bottom over here. We see two firewalls, and through a VPN, we establish connection between all the networks. Let's look at extranets now. So it is usually a business to business intranet. So this is very goal specific. unlike intranet, which can be used for multiple purposes. They control access to remote users via some form of authentication and encryption, such as provided by a VPN. Let me get back. Yeah, and extranets employ, of course, they apply TCP/IP protocols along with the same standard applications and services. So yeah, so the main takeaway from this is extranet is a little more exclusive than the intranet. It is built for a specific business goal, and there is some sort of authentication and encryption process too for an extranets, which make it exclusive and make it a paid service as well. Now let's look at the type of firewalls. Firewalls fall into four broad categories. There are multiple different distinctions, but broadly we categorize them into these four categories: the packet filters, circuit level, application level, and the stateful multi-layer. Looking at the packet filter, so if we look at what happens at the packet filter, most of the work happens at the network level of the OSI model. Each packet is compared to a set of criteria before it is forwarded. Packet filtering firewalls is low cost and low impact on network performance, which is why this is the most commonly used type of firewall. So here we have a depiction of how it works. So we, if you look at this, the incoming traffic is then read by the internet protocol, which allows it to go to the other networks that the server is connected to. The traffic is filtered based on specified rules, including source, destination IP address, packet type, port number, etc. Unknown traffic is usually allowed to level 3 of the network stack, so that has a little uh, lesser priority. Then when we look at the second type, we can see the circuit level, uh, the type of firewall. This is the circuit level type. So the circuit level gateways work at the session layer of the OSI model or the TCP layer of the TCP IP, which is unlike the packet filter firewalls. And the if we look at what stands out in the circuit level firewalls are the monitor TCP handshaking between packets to determine whether a requested session is legitimate or no is clearly done in this type of firewall. This causes more security for the information on these servers and networks. So this is the depiction of the circuit level firewalls. So as we can see, traffic is filtered based on specified session rules, such as when a session is initiated by a recognized computer. Unknown traffic in this case is allowed to level 4 of the network stack, whereas in packet filtering it was allowed to level 3 of the internet protocol. The third kind is the application level firewalls. So they are also called proxies and are similar to circuit level gateways, except that they are application specific. Gateway that is configured to be a web proxy will not allow any FTP, Gopher, Telnet, or other traffic through. So over here, uh, we can see that traffic is filtered again based on specified application rules, such as specified applications, a browser protocols such as FTP or combinations. Over here, the difference between the other two kinds of firewalls are the unknown traffic is allowed up to the top of the network stack. So they are given high priority in this kind, and this is the fourth kind of firewall and the most commonly deployed form of firewall. This is let me explain what the stateful multi-layer firewalls are. uh, so these stateful multi-layer inspection firewalls combine the aspects of the other three types of firewalls. They filter packets at the network layer, determine whether session packets are legitimate, and evaluate contents of packets at the application layer. So they are a combination of the first three kinds of firewalls that we read about. As networks, servers, and interconnections are getting more and more complex, or rather more and more dense, the implementation of stateful multi-layer firewalls are the most practical, as they are multi-purpose and can achieve multiple objectives with the same firewall. Now, this is the depiction of how a stateful multi-layer firewall works. They have 5 layers: the physical data link, internet protocol, transfer control protocol, and the application. So the traffic is filtered at all 3 levels in this case, based on a wide range of specified application, session, and packet filtering rules. Unknown traffic in this case is allowed up to level 3 of the network stack. So let's look at the general performance of the 4 different kinds of firewalls. The packet filtering, we can see that speed and flexibility are very good, but the intelligence or the performance level, or, or the performance capability of the system is pretty low for packet filtering, uh, which is the minus if you look at it. Then next, when we look at the application proxy level firewalls, we can see that the speed and the flexibility are low, but the intelligence of the system is very good. So in situations where uh, speed and flexibility are not a priority, but rather the IQ of the system is valued more, application proxy may be more might be a better implementation for the servers. And then we have the stateful inspection, which is the most common, which is the most stable one when it comes to speed, flexibility, and intelligence. And the multi-layer circuit getaway firewalls, when we look at it, speed is low, flexibility is low, and intelligence is low. But this might be a little uh, uh, um, it might be a little elusive, because the truth is the circuit getaway, even though it provides low speed, low flexibility, and low intelligence, it creates a balanced performance, which is what is more important for a stable network or server. And finally, I'll be just covering a couple of points about the future of firewalls and what I expect to see in terms of growth in this department of computer science. So, firewalls will 100% continue to advance as the attacks on IT infrastructure become more and more sophisticated. So, the need for firewalls only increases. Uh, so, they're going to get, I would be not too uh, gullible to think that it's going to be extremely important, and even more so in the next few years, to establish secure firewalls, as as it is the information era. So and as information is moving more and more digital, the need for firewalls is immense, and it's important that we invest in a safe future, which would mean that we invest in building firewalls even more than their functionalities that they are capable of today. Second, more and more client and server applications are coming with native support for proxied environments. This makes more sense, as it keeps costs at a stable rate. And finally, firewalls that scan for viruses as they enter the network, and several firms are currently exploring this idea, but is not yet in wide use. But it will definitely, as the need increases day by day, it will definitely come to a point where this has to be implemented. And finally, I don't want my subscribers to get too bored. Yeah, but let me conclude this session. It is clear that some form of security for private networks connected to the internet is essential, and a firewall is an important and necessary part of that security, but cannot be expected to perform all the required security functions. So, my takeaway, friends, would be that um, a firewall is one and a very important part of the internet security and all other protocols and regulations that come with internet usage, traffic, uh, implementation, and so on. Uh, anyway, let me end it with this. I think too many words wouldn't be too good. So I hope some of my viewers have got something out of this. I believe that only when intent is there can knowledge be digested. But I thank you all so much. It's been great trying to share what I know of firewalls with you all. I really hope that some of you comment, so it will give me an idea of where I'm at in terms of my communication and in terms of my information presentation. Thank you all so much. Have a good evening.